Hello, I'm Father Joe Roesch of the Marian Fathers of the Immaculate Conception. Thank you for joining us as we continue with our year-long journey reading the diary of St. Maria Faustina Kowalska from beginning to end. Today we take up from where we left off, beginning with diary entry number 1559. At that moment I saw Jesus, and from his heart there issued those same two rays which enveloped me, whole and entire. At the same time, all my torments vanished. My daughter, the Lord said, know that of yourself you are just what you have gone through, and it is only by my grace that you are a participant of eternal life and all the gifts I lavish on you. And with these words of the Lord, there came to me a true knowledge of myself. Jesus is giving me a lesson in deep humility and, at the same time, one of total trust in him. My heart is reduced to dust and ashes, and even if all people were to trample me under their feet, I would still consider that a favor. I feel and am, in fact, very deeply permeated with the knowledge that I am nothing, so that real humiliations will be a refreshment for me. February 3rd, 1938. Today, after Holy Communion, Jesus again gave me a few directives. First, do not fight against the temptation by yourself, but disclose it to the confessor at once, and then the temptation will lose all its force. Second, during these ordeals, do not lose your peace. Live in my presence. Ask my mother and the saints for help. Third, have the certitude that I am looking at you and supporting you. Fourth, do not fear either struggles of the soul or any temptations, because I am supporting you. If only you are willing to fight, know that the victory is always on your side. Fifth, know that by fighting bravely, you give me great glory and amass merits for yourself. Temptation gives you a chance to show me your fidelity. And now I'm going to tell you something that is most important for you. Boundless sincerity with your spiritual director. If you do not take advantage of this great grace, according to my instructions, I will take him away from you, and then you will be left to yourself, and all the torments which you know very well will return to you. It displeases me that you do not take advantage of the opportunity when you are able to see him and talk with him. Know that it is a great grace on my part when I give a spiritual director to a soul. Many souls ask me for this, but it is not to all that I grant this grace. From the moment when I gave you this priest as spiritual director, I endowed him with new light so that he might easily know and understand your soul. O my Jesus, my only mercy, allow me to see contentment in your face as a sign of reconciliation with me, because my heart cannot bear your seriousness. If this continues a moment longer, my heart will burst with grief. You see that I am even now crushed to dust. And at that very moment I saw myself in some kind of a palace, and Jesus gave me his hand, sat me at his side, and said with kindness, My bride, you always please me by your humility. The greatest misery does not stop me from uniting myself to a soul, but where there is pride, I am not there. When I came to myself, I reflected on what had happened in my heart, thanking God for his love and for the mercy that he had shown me. Jesus, hide me, just as you have hidden yourself under the form of the white host. So hide me from human eyes, and particularly hide the gifts which you so kindly grant me. May I not betray outwardly what you are effecting in my soul. I am a white host before you, O divine priest. Consecrate me to yourself, and may my transubstantiation be known only to you. I stand before you each day as a sacrificial host and implore your mercy upon the world. In silence and unseen, I will empty myself before you. My pure and undivided love will burn in profound silence as a holocaust, and may the fragrance of my love be wafted to the foot of your throne. You are the Lord of Lords, but you delight in innocent and humble souls. At the end of her terrible trial and purification, Jesus appeared to St. Faustina as the Divine Mercy, and all of her torments vanished. Jesus wanted to show her what she was in herself without the aid of his grace. It was quite a purification and a humiliation. It is a lesson that all is gift. Without Jesus, we can do nothing. The next day, after Holy Communion, Jesus taught St. Faustina some important lessons. She should not have tried to fight the temptations by herself. By revealing them to her confessor, the temptations would lose their power. She shouldn't have turned down the opportunity to go to confession to Father Andras, thinking that he wouldn't understand her. Jesus gave him special graces to understand the soul of St. Faustina. Jesus asked her to maintain her peace during her ordeals. Jesus is always near, even if he appears to be absent, and she should be certain of his presence. Jesus will support her through every struggle. Fighting the temptations valiantly gives God great glory. And if Faustina doesn't use her confessor, Jesus will withdraw him. Having such a confessor is a great grace that not everyone has received. Faustina feels so humiliated that she asks for some sign of reconciliation from Jesus. He reassures her that he is always united with her. He loves her humility, and misery is not going to drive him away from us. Faustina asked for the grace to be like a Eucharistic host, hidden like Jesus, consecrated to him.